Yo, what's up, guys? Just wanted to come on here, talk a little bit about, getting Keegan Murray fourth in the 2022 NBA draft. Super excited. My initial reaction that I posted on my YouTube, I kind of seemed a little mad, sad. I am pretty excited about this pick. And mainly the reason why I had those feelings during the selection was because I thought that the Kings were going to trade back, get an asset, maybe from Detroit, where it would have been like a Sadiq Bey or another first round pick or something, and get their fifth pick to get Keegan Murray. Or another thing was to trade with the Pacers, get Malcolm Brogdon, Chris Duarte, and get their sixth pick. So, there's many different variables. Monty McNair went on the record saying that he said that he tried to see whether or not he wanted to move back, move up, move out, sit and pick it. So that's all the information that we got. Obviously, we're not in the draft room to really know what offers he got, or the lack of offers he got, or if he really vetted all those different opportunities. So it's just all about trust at this point. And yeah, Keegan Murray definitely is a very solid player, averaged 23.5 points, think about 8 rebounds, couple assists in his second year at Iowa, sophomore. I think he's 22 years old. And I think another reason why Kings fans really just didn't jive or vibe with the pick was literally just because everyone's not saying it, but it's just he's very businesslike, almost like Harrison Barnes. He's very monotone kind of, and obviously that those are no bad things in that case, but it's not like that exciting player or that box office player. As Jay Bilas said, he's kind of that player that is really just does all the dirty work and gets those rebounds, gets those blocks. He has the highest dunk rate in college. He does everything, and by the end of the game, he puts up stellar numbers. So James Ham was on the record, I think. I saw one of his tweets that Keegan Murray can turn into a Marvin Williams, which basically Marvin Williams was kind of like a journeyman in his NBA career. I remember having him on my fantasy team as one of my last draft picks, or even on the waiver wire. Or he could turn into a Chris Middleton. Monty didn't seem he seemed to push back a lot on the ceiling part about Keegan Murray, and he was like, well, he had the highest points scored per game in college last year, so what makes me think that he has a low ceiling? I don't know. And that's what a lot of people are thinking about, is how high is his ceiling compared to a Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey, I feel like, has a lot more boom bust, whereas Keegan Murray does not. I feel like Keegan Murray will be a solid NBA player at worst, and I think Jaden Ivey can completely just bust, to be honest with you. And Jaden Ivey kind of has a low motor as well. And not low motor meaning exciting, and he likes to dunk and assert his will. I mean low motor on defense, and he kind of doesn't try. And that kind of reminded me of Dennis Smith Jr. Obviously, they have completely different play styles and anything. Just the motor part on defense, just lackadaisical, not trying. Dennis Smith Jr., that was kind of the MO on him when he got drafted out of college. But you know what? Keegan Murray was definitely a good pick, and I think it was just everyone was kind of bracing themselves for a big trade, whether it was a John Collins or whether we were going to trade back, get some assets, and then pick Keegan Murray. But obviously that didn't work out. So yeah, we just got Keegan Murray. I just do not understand. I do not understand why we traded away Jaden Hardy and traded him away for 2 second-round picks, as well as trading away another second-round pick for Sasha Vezenkov, considering there was not even confirmation yesterday that he was even going to come to the States. So if he comes to the States, that's sick. But thinking about it from a wide point of view, he didn't even go to the Cavs, who drafted him in 2017 with the 57th pick, and got drafted 5 years ago, and he still never showed his face in the States. So what makes me think that he's going to come to the Kings? Who knows? That is a question mark still that needs to be answered. Whether he's packaged in another trade with the second-round picks that we got with Jaden Hardy, we will see. But Jaden Hardy was literally, I think, number 2 recruit, and he is a very, very, very good player. He was a 5-star recruit out of high school. He played on the G League Ignite. He had that swaggy draft day suit. I was super hyped actually when we drafted him because I was like, high upside. Jemias Ramsey, Robert Woodard, they never had this much upside compared to Jaden Hardy. And say if something does go wrong, and we do not make the playoffs and Sabonis and Fox leave, we would have a point guard waiting in the woodworks in the G League, Jaden Hardy, who has tons of high upside. I just do not understand why we trade away Jaden Hardy, who literally has a really high ceiling. That's why the Dallas Mavericks traded for him. And he's 19 years old. He could literally spend 3 years in the G League and then call him up if our plan doesn't work with Fox and Sabonis. And he would be a great point guard. And if he doesn't work out, then he doesn't work out. But if he does, then, oh my gosh, high upside, high talent. I mean, he wasn't uberly efficient, so that's why his draft stock fell. He was relaxed on defense as well. So, just mixed feelings about those second-round picks because you can really get good players in the second round if you really develop your players and develop them in the G League, to be honest. But we got Keegan Murray, and he arrived in Sac today. And it's about 5:23 Friday, June 24th. I think I'll be uploading this video tomorrow just because I'm about to be going to a Sacramento Rivercats game. So that's about to be sick. But just wanted to talk about Keegan Murray a little bit. Really thought there was going to be some assets involved, but obviously there wasn't. And so we just caught Keegan Murray. He reminds me of a better Harrison Barnes, but kind of like that same, just that same kind of just does his job. He is very scholarly, and that's who he reminds me of. He has a faster shot than Harrison, so that's good. Gets a shot off faster, better for catch and shoot. So we'll see how he turns out. He's going to be a good player for sure, though. And I know tons of people on Slam. Slam hasn't even featured him yet on their page, on their Instagram page. League Fit's Instagram page hasn't even shown Keegan Murray, even though it wasn't really the swaggiest suit. So, wasn't the sexiest pick or anything by any means. He's not a flashy player, but we need someone that's stable right now, and I think this is going to be a good pick. We will see. The Kings definitely need to make moves because if they roll out with this starting lineup, a Fox, Mitchell, Barnes, Keegan Murray, and Sabonis, that we're going to be 10th in the West. So we better be making some moves. And if we don't, we will not be sitting good. So hopefully this is all part of the plan. Believe in Monty. Believe in the Princeton Tiger. Kind of happy with the pick. wish we got some assets, but we didn't. So yeah, guys, Keegan Murray will be a good player, and we will see what happens, and hopefully we will end up getting some good players in free agency. See you guys.